The Bulls Summer League is in the books. They finished the season. Do you even call it a season? I don't know what, but they finished Summer League going 3-2, winning their final game over the Washington Wizards 90-85. I said this before, but I'll be honest, I did not watch all of Summer League this year. The first 2 games, I was on vacation, I watched the highlights, then the final 3 games, I watched mainly the second halves. It's just hard for me to get into Summer League when the product of basketball just isn't as good as what you see in the NBA, but I am always curious to watch some of the up-and-coming talent that the Bulls either currently have on their roster or are fighting for roster spots. And I have to say, based on what I saw, I was pretty pleasantly surprised with some of the guys out there and hopefully looking forward to seeing more of them this upcoming season. So in this video, we're going to be recapping the Bulls Summer League and some key takeaways for those who might have missed out on the game. So what's going on, everyone? You're listening to Bulls Central here. Hope you're all doing well. Of course, be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel, as I do greatly appreciate you helping the channel grow, and in return I'll be providing more Bulls content like this all season long. Now, I said this before, but one of these years, maybe when my daughters are a little older, I have to make it out to Summer League. It's just become such a big networking event, so many media personalities, current and former players. I need to get out there, as it just looks like so much fun. And for this Summer League, I think what we saw, at least from this Bulls roster, what I'm the most upset about missing on was the fact that, and this is our first takeaway, is Javon Liberty Freeman and what he was able to do during Summer League. Look, say what you will, it's only Summer League, the competition isn't that great, you're never going to see the same level of defense as you would in the NBA. It's also a different style of play where there isn't necessarily as much focus on team basketball, because most of these guys are only fighting for NBA contracts and only out to showcase what they can do. But man, this guy can ball. Man averaged 21.2 points per game on near 50% shooting in the Bulls' 5 games, even shot 46% from 3 and on decent volume as well. And again, we've been saying this ad nauseum all season long. Bulls need shooters. Maybe he doesn't shoot like that if it's going up against actual NBA pros, but you can't deny that the dude can shoot. He plays with a ton of confidence. He has a good feel for the game, is able to play on and off the ball. I was very, very impressed from what I saw from Liberty Freeman. Here's the thing though. The Bulls have too many guards. We know this. Adding another guard, while the shooting is, yes, great, isn't ideal from a fit perspective for the Bulls. But the Bulls do have one more two-way contract spot available, and I would love to see them pick up Freeman for that final spot and get him some run in various games throughout the season just to see what he can do in being a floor spacer off the bench. And who knows, maybe he becomes one of these two-way contract success stories like Alex Caruso or Max Strus. I just feel like what he was able to show in Summer League was too good for it to be, it's just a Summer League qualifier and for the Bulls to just pass up on giving him a two-way contract. Another takeaway, and really I should add that all of these takeaways focus on specific players, but for Julian Phillips, this could actually prove to be a solid pickup for the Bulls as a second-round pick that they traded to get. Now, here's the thing. He really only had 2 good Summer League games. Obviously, he didn't play in the first game because his contract hadn't been finalized yet. The first game in which he did play was pretty meh. And then the last game, he got into some foul trouble, big-time foul trouble, and didn't play much as a result of it. But regardless, the not-so-good games, it's the eye-popping athleticism, the energy, the tenacious defense. I was actually very impressed with his ability to crash the boards, especially offensive rebounds for second-chance points, which we've said all season, the Bulls need more second-chance opportunities. They were one of the worst teams in the league last year in offensive rebounds. The other piece that got me excited, because we were harping on the Bulls taking Phillips, who was not a good three-point shooter in college, but he actually looked really great and comfortable shooting it from 3 in Summer League. Granted, only 4 games, so very small sample size. 44% though on those 4 games, and his stroke looked much better than some of the highlights we saw from him in Tennessee. Yeah, I'll take that. The more shooting the Bulls can get, the better. He was also just a very aware player on the court, knew his spots, knew where he needed to be to get the ball with his great timing. And again, I don't know how much playing time Phillips can expect to see on the Bulls with their rotation already set as it is, but perhaps he could work his way into the rotation with his effort and hustle and some needed stops on defense. I also liked what I saw from Adama Sunoco. I mean, he proved he was worth picking up for the Bulls as an undrafted player and getting him on a two-way contract. Again, not sure how much playing time he'll actually be able to get for the Bulls, but a smart big who can finish well around the rim, crash the boards, is something that's always good to see when the Bulls have fairly limited size as it is. And then finally, and maybe not the best takeaway, slightly disappointed in Dalen showing in Summer League. Now, he had a great game last night. in the Bulls' final game, and it was really good to the point where it kind of made up for his poor performances throughout the rest of Summer League. Finished the game with 20 points on 7 for 10 shooting, was 4 for 5 from 3, which is a surprise considering how poorly he shot the ball from deep throughout Summer League. He also added 5 rebounds and 4 assists. So a great game where he controlled the flow of the offense, was also solid on defense, and it kind of put Bulls fans' minds a little more at ease based on how he was showing up before that. That said though, I had a lot of expectations of Dalen Terry going in the Summer League. I mentioned this before in a prior video, but for Terry as the only experienced NBA player on that roster, the only first round pick on that roster, you would have expected him to be one of the leaders of that team, to be the go-to guy on offense, whether that was through facilitating or scoring. And again, aside from the last game, you really didn't see that. Played great on defense, no one is questioning that, but could not shoot the ball well at all. Took a lot of bad shots, which is fine. It is Summer League. That's the time to experiment and have the green light on some of those things, but still, not good shots, missed badly, couldn't beat defenders off the dribble, not much of a pull-up game, and even had trouble finishing at the rim. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have had high expectations for Terry, but I really expected him to shine in Summer League, kind of like what we saw from Pat when he was going into his sophomore season playing in Summer League for the first time. He dominated, and it was clear he was a man amongst boys and probably shouldn't have even belonged in Summer League. That's what I wanted to see from Dalen Terry. Telling Billy Donovan and the coaching staff, hey, you guys messed up, man. You should have played me more last season. But based on what we saw from Dalen, not really showing much progress in his game, especially as it relates to his shooting. I mean, I have a hard time seeing him still being able to crack the rotation for the Bulls this upcoming year. What Terry is good at, the Bulls don't need as much, and what the Bulls greatly need is Terry's biggest weakness, and because of that, yeah, it's still going to be hard for him to find minutes. Now that said, hopefully he goes into training camp, works with the Bulls' new shooting coach to reform that shot, making him more of a priority to find himself in the rotation, but I have a hard time seeing given the Bulls are still running it back and looking to win now. He's still young though, obviously lots of room to grow and get better, but he needs to improve drastically if he wants to see consistent minutes at all this season. But anyway, those were my biggest takeaways from the Bulls Summer League this year. Let me know what you guys thought of it and if you think there was anything that I missed. As always, be sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.